GiftGreen with us, and we're going to talk to them about running a sustainable business and the challenges that one faces when running a sustainable business. So, why don't we all start with introducing ourselves and our business a little? Parushi, you can go first.
So, Wear Miho is a brand which actually is sustainable kids wear, and the idea behind it started with me having a visit in Kerala, and it is based on an age-old technique. Uh, I graduated from NIFT Mumbai, and this is what my GP project was about. And while in the process of learning through it, I really fall in love, and I was like, this is what I want to do and explore
Makes
more
sense.
about it. So yeah, that's how we started. And yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. There have been a lot of things that I've learned new, and I hope that this journey will continue to be far more learning what it has been up till today.
What about you, Mansi? What was the story behind GiftGreen?
So basically, like being a Mumbaiite, like Ganpati is like a big festival for all of us. Me being a Gujarati, also we still like Ganpati is a big thing for us, and we,
Makes
every year
sense.
there were a lot of gifts coming in, and like we would be excited for the gifts, sweets and all the mithais and all the gifts coming in, but the packaging, I'm like, what am I going to do with so much packaging waste after like eating all of this? And my father being in the printing industry, I would see so much waste happening all the time. So I said, no, this Ganpati, I'm going to like gift things to people which I think will make sense, so I started making seed modaks at home. So I would
That's
like,
so cute.
yeah, so that's how I started. And I just gifted it to my friends, my building people, and all of that. And then somebody gave me an order for like 100 modaks, and I was like, oh, it's not a business. I just did it out of like my love for nature and all of that, because I was studying. Like I've always studied in places where there's a lot of greenery, like my boarding school and everywhere. So I've always been like very close to nature, growing plants and stuff. So I said, okay, let me take up the order, and I did it. And my family was helping me make modaks at home, and they're like, mitti ka banana pad raha hai. But that was the whole thing. And I was like, I want to do more. What are the other things I can try and, make or create which can reduce our waste when it comes to festivals, celebrations? Because half the year we're actually celebrating something or the other.
True.
And yeah, and most of the things are not even mindful. Like we're just giving it because dena hai. That's the whole idea. We have to give it. So I was like, no, let me start creating, things. And then modaks, and then there was seed paper. My dad helped me, build that. And slowly we went on. And now we have personal care, home care, and a lot of things which will which will help you make your journey sustainable. I think this is the longest I've spoken about giving. Thank you.
Oh, so I called you guys here because like I have my own sustainable business. It's called Music Saga and it's in the publishing industry. I've spoken to Mansi a lot about it because as she said, her dad is in printing. And I got the idea because I'm a writer and my biggest problem with being a writer was that publishing is expensive. Like I spent 7 years writing a novel and then I have to shell out like, oh, what, 50, 60K just to get it published? That's insane. And all the big name publishers, they don't take new authors. Like it's very rare that they'll take a new author unless you have like a huge social media following, and I'm not good at social media. So I was like, let me do my own thing where I can help writers and edit their books for them and get them off the ground for free. And then I was like, but wait, people cannot afford to buy books. Like a lot of friends of mine in college could not afford that. So I was like, let me put the books online for people to read for free. And then from that, I started looking at, wait, what happens to books after people return them? Right? If someone returns a book to Amazon, what happens to it? Or like if you've bought shelf space in a store and it does not get sold. And the horrific part is they tear those books and send them to landfills. Like you just get the cover back, and the inside the actual story bit is sent to the landfill. Or if they are being sustainable, they'll recycle the paper. And that was like that was so bad, right? We all love books. So I was like, no, let's make book on recycled paper. Let's not contribute to deforestation. Let's go print on demand so that books actually find a home instead of, just sitting in the store for years with no one buying them. And so I was like, wait, if I am facing trouble doing that, because trust me, it's so irritating sometimes trying to find recycled paper and stuff. I was like, maybe other people are also having trouble running a sustainable business. and we could all sit together and brainstorm ideas on what we can change, right? That's how the community grows.
Right.
So that leads me to our next question, which is what makes your business sustainable? Like Mansi said that it's the lowest ideology, but what about Red Miho? What makes that sustainable?
So basically, I think there are a lot of layers which makes something sustainable. And when being said that, also sustainability is a journey. You can't just be
True.
sustainable and reach a part where you are, you say you're completely sustainable. I think that is a very vague idea. That is not true at all for anything, or it
That's
can't be
impossible.
just true. Yeah. So there are a lot of
Yeah.
things we try and be as mindful as possible for every stage in the process of making Veer Miho products by us. Uh, so our dyes are sustainable. They are Ayurvedic dyes. They have no chemicals, no BPA, nothing. We also recycle our dye waste as manure. Our fabrics are completely natural. We also try
Hmm.
and recycle the fabric bits into different accessories for kids or filling up the pillow, and all the ideas which, so basically we keep twisting and turning according to what the season is, what the collection needs, how can we save this waste from one thing to another. So last year we did some knitting samples, and a lot of yarn wastage was done because of it, because these were just samples, they were not of really any use. So this year we converted them into pillow fillings. So this is something I think which is very, I think season based, time based. The only thing which we can really plan is stay on the ground that this is what we do. Like we do Ayurvedic dyes, that is what we are continuing to do. And the second is being mindful about what we have at hand. I also reuse and recycle a lot of packaging that comes to my house. So mostly all the
Same.
packages that are sent out by Miho for orders are have been used by my household in one way or other, or the business. So that's something that a lot of people have also said that you should work on your packaging. But I said this is the work I need to do.
Makes
This
sense. I
this is
remember when
my
you
work.
sent, yeah,
Yes.
I remember
So
when you sent me that product for the blog review, and they were in this brown packet, which you could see it had been reused several times, and that was so amazing to me. Like I reused it to ship some of my books to readers, and I love that idea that that one package has so much history in it. It's seen so many people.
yeah, thank you. Thanks for considering it. But because a lot of people they keep questioning why does your package looks like this is old, Mega? Because this is old. This is this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to save as much as I can. Also, we have also initiatives like, so basically, the work that we do at Miho is mostly hand done. So I have a lot of connections with a lot of NGOs and household ladies and people who and ladies who generally want to work after they have reached back homes. So a lot of housemaids, house helps. So what we do is we train them in the day that you come for one day. We'll teach you what to do and how to do. Then you can take the products home. You can do it at your convenience, and they then come back with their finished works and return to us, or have, if they have
That's so
queries,
cool.
they can come and see what is wrong and how to do it, and all of that within this. So like I said, we try and keep doing whatever we can at whatever stage. So in the process I met Smriti. She's from an NGO called Good Works Trust. It is based out of Noida. I went to her NGO and it was lovely to see. She teaches a lot of kids from different age groups, and she really works hard on them. She teaches them, she has arranged for teachers, she works for scholarships, she does everything she can do for those kids. So we also conducted their art classes, and the cards they made we sent out to the people who were purchasing from Miho, so they get recognition for their art. They appreciate what they do, and so the textile, so the fabric, textile, and everything that has been used in the class is not wasted at all. So Yeah, I think it is
Makes
not
sense.
one thing that we do. It is a lot. It is being mindful about how much more we can do with everything we do. So that's how Miho actually is sustainable with the mind of it.
Makes sense. I mean, I think even GiftGreen uses reuse packaging. I hope that everyone blog I wrote for you. But what do you think, Mansi? Like, what makes GiftGreen sustainable other than the low waste ideology?
So my idea was that I don't want to complicate things, like even Parushi said, for packaging, like I have a lot of ideas for packaging, but there were so many like reused packages which would come to us. So I started collecting all of those. So sometimes we literally gave out like stuff in like, mixer ka dabbas or MacBook boxes. And people would think, what is this, And then they realize, oh, they've ordered some skincare or upcycle product from us. But I think the more you do it, the more people start getting used to it, and then they realize that, yes, this is the way to go. And, we can always try and put a note that please reuse this packaging. So they realize that no, it's not that we're getting rid of the packaging. We're making sure that it gets, reused like till the end. And what we try to do is like like I said, extra packaging. So if we have the lotion bar, we use a lot of like waste fabric to make different things. So I keep cotton cloth, with cute designs aside, wash them and wrap the lotion bars in that. Because we are Indians, we all have extra dabbas and boxes and all these things at home. You can just put the lotion bars in that, And there are a lot of people who tell us, and why are you giving it like this? Give me a box. I then asked them, do you have extra empty boxes at home, like plastic Tupperware, whatever? Just, we end up reusing it. I said, just reuse any one of those. You don't need extra packaging for that. Yeah, things which need packaging, I understand. Everything cannot be wrapped in cloth. For that, we have tin and glass containers. There were so many people who actually, like, who were around us in Mumbai would come back with their containers for tooth powder, you know, for a refill. So then we said, okay, let's start refilling in paper pouches. And that was also a thing, which a lot of brands wouldn't agree to because they're like, paper pouch, mein who gives something, But why not? We have like hundreds of glass jars at home, which we wash and reuse. Just fill it in that.
Sitting from centuries, actually.
Yeah, like it's a very old practice,
Yeah,
and everything can't be aesthetically beautiful when it comes to low waste living.
It
It has to
doesn't
be how
have to
functional.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like
that's
it.
so
You're not
true.
doing it to make it look pretty. You're doing it so
Yeah,
there's the functionality is at max. Yeah, you're making the most of what we have. That's how you can be sustainable. So even
exactly.
like for upcycling the products, I make sure that we make designs which like reduce our
No,
waste. I don't like to give fancy shapes to things, just because it'll look good. Like even our face wipes are square, not round. Because when you cut rounds, people who actually do it themselves, they'll know that when you cut rounds, there's a lot of waste which, like created. So that's how I try to make like every product simple. So it's functional, very functional, but it also like looks good, but at the end it should serve the purpose. Like that's the whole point. Like even if it's the lip balm, we don't have multiple flavors because that's the thing, right? Like all these brands give you like 10 flavors to choose from, but if you're living a low waste lifestyle, you're just happy with using a lip balm which will serve the purpose. So that's what we're trying to do.
yeah, no, I think that balance between, yeah, no, important as a brand, right? To find that balance between your aesthetic but being low waste as well. And
Correct.
I really like the idea of like glass and tin or like Parveen said, recycling what you have. I think those are like really good ideas where you can have the marketing of the brand but also be low waste. So my next question, you guys have answered a lot of my questions in this one, but what is sustainable business? Like what are the
I
challenges
just,
you have faced?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, even I missed it.
Could you not? Yeah, wait, I'll yeah, yeah, my network.
Okay. So, what are the challenges of running a sustainable business?
Hey, I put the question in the chat if you can see it.
Okay. Okay. I think Parushi can go first.
Okay, so I think, thank you, Mansi. I think the only challenge is uh, that you can't just stop researching. You have to find new ways, new ideas, new things, what is happening in the market, what works for you, what no, doesn't works for you at every stage. Because sustainability is such a subjective thing. You can't just say it is not like a fixed thing. It is not like a maths equation that will have a correct answer to it. You can only just be better. So, the process, the mindset that you need, the creativity that you need to be as sustainable as possible at every stage of what you do is what makes the whole journey challenging. Because, to be honest, the world has grown so fast, there is everything readily available for everyone. If not this, then that. If not this way, then that way. There are multiple things, multiple ways, and there's no limitation to what you can do now. But the only challenge that lies with consumerism is first, like, the people being aware. So creating awareness in the people, making them understand why is it important, how is it important, why do they need to make a better choice. So this is one part of the challenge, and the other part of the challenge is delivering to it, to be on your toes, to stay creative, to keep looking out for options, to deject some ideas, to just keep finding out what next. So yeah, this is what I feel is the whole rhythm of running a sustainable business. So what do you think, Mansi?
I actually agree like a lot on that. Like sometimes people don't know what they're doing wrong. That's the problem. Like they're not aware. You know, sometimes we get irritated. Arey yaar, isko itna nahi pata. Why are they like using a plastic bottle? Because it's so imbibed in us that when you go to a restaurant, you just take a water bottle. Like you buy a packaged drinking water bottle, but they don't know the things. Like awareness is something which is lacking. Big part. You know. And one more thing is like
Fair.
trying to like convince people that like one major challenge I really face sometimes is that we're so used to ordering from these big, aggregators that people don't have patience. Like they think that okay, if I'm just one sorry.
No problem.
So basically that like people lack patience, if they order something at like 9 p.m. at night and then they expect delivery the next day because of the one day delivery things, but they don't understand the whole logistics, the effort, the energy which goes into like handmade products. Like even if it is getting stitched by somebody or even if you're making a product at home, it takes time. It's not made in a factory or in a mass manufacturing unit. So I think that one challenge is like, people really lack patience sometimes when they order things from small businesses. And I've spoken to many other smaller businesses which actually face this. It's like that one day delivery, express delivery problems. So I think that's one challenge, and also awareness.
I think they really like we are so
Okay,
used to
so
having
uh,
so much convenience at our fingertips that we have forgotten that we chose sustainability because it's slow. The whole idea comes back to the same point. You can't rush for it, you can't have it at the same price, you can't have it at the same convenience because it is sustainable and because it is slow.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like the
yeah,
reason why slow living or low waste living is there is because you slow down a little in life.
The
You
whole process,
take that
yes.
little break and look back, Yeah. And even sometimes I think if you charge the products like less, they think, oh, it might not be a good product because like
Yeah,
being here for 7 years now, it's our eighth year now. So initially the products were priced like at a very economical price. People would still doubt, saying, oh, why is it so economically priced? But the idea
exactly.
was to make it affordable for everybody. Now, when you increase the prices because of inflation, they're like, oh, why is it so expensive? Because it's a sustainable business. So
sustainable
that's
brand,
actually a
yeah.
challenge
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
I I mean, I think sustainability can be convenient. Like GiftGreen does that really well. I've seen like you guys are still very economical. Like I use your body butter on the daily. Yeah, and even with Wear Miho, like
Thank
I
you so
showed your
much.
products to my mom. I mean, for my cousins, they're just like I have few newborn cousins, right? And my mom's like, "हाँ, बच्चों के clothes and toys which are made of natural fabrics at this rate, it's great." But
Yeah,
then I showed it
because
to other people, and the same thing, right? They're like, "हाँ, but sustainable है, महंगा होगा, Amazon पे इससे सस्ता मिल जाएगा." And I'm like, you do realize it's going into your kid's skin. That is a chemical dye. Like, why would you choose that? Like, I get it कि नहीं है या फिर you're not aware, तब बात अलग है. But यहाँ पे these are people who have the bandwidth, who have the money, who are just like, but why should we bother? I
yeah.
mean, your child, your planet, your life.
So yeah,
So,
that has been the whole case.
what do you think? Like in music saga, yeah. So in music saga,
And
one of the challenges we face is that since it's printing, hello, yeah.
I don't know if you all have faced this,
Mansi,
but
were
a
you
lot
saying
of
something?
times, yeah, I was saying, I don't know if you all have faced this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes people try to they will like try to bargain with you, saying, "Arey, you're a small business, come on," and all. But they will never do that in a mall or a big brand. Like you will
Yeah,
not go to
so
Zara
this is
expecting,
something that irritates me so much. I'm so sorry for
yeah,
interrupting like this, but
yeah,
so
that's okay. I feel you. That's
people would compare us to brands like Zara and H&M and what not. But I say just read their label, dude. You will know why my price. So my prices are actually competitive. With these big brands, these big labels. But the point is, I believe that my products are much more, value added because of the sustainability issues and the fact that they're Ayurvedic diet. They are actually
and
beneficial
obviously
for
long
it.
lasting for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah,
Also, I
Hmm.
think the whole idea with Zara and H&M and all the other, so not to just name brag these brands, so all the other fast fashion brands is that these are fast fashion brands. You are supposed to buy them again and again. So the products are, short-lived, or the styles will not long last, or the colors will not long last. On the other hand, you
absolutely.
get
Yeah.
something which is long lasting, which is beneficial for your kid, which is beneficial for the planet. But the whole idea of uh, being brand conscious becomes to people who want to show their power through brands. The concept of sustainability is still such a very chota cultural thing, which is still deep rooted in the uh, very elite people or in the very rurals. It is not there in the uh, uh, what do
The
you
Yeah,
say?
in
middle
the
Yeah,
section.
masses.
in the masses,
Yeah,
correct. It is not there
yeah.
in the masses. So yeah, that is something which is very disheartening because when we have the resources, when we have the things, and we still choose to not do what is best for our babies and the planet, both ways, is really annoying. To tell them that cotton cannot be worn is really annoying. To tell them that this dye will, harm your kid. Probably he's getting rashes because of the polyester he is wearing is annoying. You can
Correct.
spend thousands of rupees on his medications, but you can't damn wear a cotton jhabla at home.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand that, some people might have things which are stopping them. Like I personally have OCD. So for me, fabrics are very annoying. Like I cannot wear wool. It'll just drive me insane. But so I understand that there is still that need for polyester and other unsustainable items. But agar koi reason nahi hai, if it's just that, you know, I don't care. I genuinely can't understand that I don't care mentality, but I suppose everyone's on their own journey. It's much better to, be there for people who want sustainability. That's always been my idea. So the last question, because I can see the Zoom timer now. Any tips for future sustainable business owners?
Okay, so I think the one tip that I would give is to be mindful, because even though your journey, you try and be as much as sustainable as possible, logistics and the supply chain is a very tedious thing. It will take a lot more effort and time than you initially realize. And secondly, this agitation with the anti uh, effort group is also one thing that one should be prepared before starting on something, starting with some of the sustainable journey of theirs. I think if you're prepared with this, your journey becomes much more easier. Thirdly, creating awareness is one thing you can't just stop doing with everything you do and everything you want. So yeah, that is what I would suggest the people who want to join the community build in to be mindful of.
What
I
about
think
you,
for
Ansi?
me, if you're somebody who's new to opening a business, I think one thing I would tell them is if you're there to solve a problem and find a solution, then get into it. Don't just do it because sustainability is the buzzword right now. That, okay, let's start a sustainable business and, everyone wants to be sustainable. No, that's not the reason you should start a new venture or, step into this. You should really feel like for that. Like, that's what I think, that really, like, because that'll help your vision to go somewhere. Otherwise you're just doing it because you know everybody's doing it. So I think that shouldn't be your idea when you're stepping into the sustainability niche. And another thing is, like Parushi said, you should be prepared with, like, for all the questions, challenges, wars, mini wars, major wars which will come your way. So be prepared. Like, it's the journey, and a lot of people face it with every small business they start. But this is going to be a little more tougher than that, because we are not selling or promoting things you can just, like, make reels out of that things, like hauls.
Yeah,
We are not
sometimes
doing
they're
that.
just
Okay.
not pretty.
Actually,
It
yeah,
is
we're just
because the
promoting.
thing is not pretty. It is not aesthetic. It is
Exactly.
not Insta friendly. So yeah,
Yeah, we are not here to, like, promote, like, hauls from our stores. We're here to tell you that even if you're buying one thing, just make sure you make the most of it. So be prepared for that.
Perfect.
Don't think you'll be sold out, on, like, in the first month or first year of your business. Just, I think,
You're
yeah,
hold
definitely
that's,
not
on,
going to be.
hold on.
yeah, yeah, just
Yeah,
hang in there.
and I think, yeah, the thing that really I think was challenging for me was the amount of people who will come to you and try to bargain on sustainability. Like I've had so many authors come to me and be like, "हमारा book normal virgin paper पे print कर दो, किसको पता चलने वाला है? Who knows the
Ex-
difference between recycled paper and sustainable paper and
Yeah,
normal paper?" And I'm like, I know. I mean, that's the whole goal here. You're telling me
yeah,
to go
exactly.
against what I started as.
And one more thing, like
Yeah,
like you just mentioned, like, it was on the back of my mind, that do not give up on your ethics when it comes to sustainable businesses, because there'll be a lot of corporates who will want your sustainable products, but they'll ask you to, like, cling wrap it and package it in, like, no, just because you're a big corporate and just because you're paying me a lot, I don't want to listen to you. I'm going
doesn't.
to stick to my
Yeah.
business ethics, and because at the end of the day, you have to face yourself and you don't want to do the wrong thing.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, like no sustainable business is going to be perfect though. Don't try to be like the most
Exactly.
sustainable. You are
Yeah.
going to have to make some unsustainable choices. Like Harushi said, the supply chain sucks. It's not meant for sustainable businesses.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Even in the beginning, when I started, I used to make a lot of mistakes. Like, I literally thought the non-woven bags were cloth, in the first year of my business. So, so it can happen. You can learn, like, you can learn, but take
Yeah.
your time. Like, be open to
Also,
learning.
Yes, I
don't be like, I
think
know it all.
the most important thing that then it just becomes that you keep learning and you keep evolving. Because one day, because see, your information source is also media, majorly. Media and hit and trials. You will see something coming up and then you will see, okay, these are the downsides of it. But that happens only after a time. Like, for example, EV was being promoted like anything. And now the downside of it is it also needs making of a lot of batteries, which then comes
Yes,
back to mining and everything. So
exactly.
it is a chain. You will find either the only solution to the problem is controlling consumerism, but we have gone so far on down that lane that we can't come back. So it's just
Come back.
fine. It's just like jumping from one conclusion to another, trying to do what the best you can at that point of time.
Yeah. It's like choosing the better of, the two evils. Sometimes you
Yeah,
have to do that.
yes.